All right, so it should be getting set to live stream, and once it's going, we'll be good. Let's slide this one over here. And there we go. Let's see here. I believe I'm live streaming, or I believe I will be in a moment anyways. Let's just get going then. All right, everybody, today is Cloud CMA. And let me just find out where I am. Here we go. Being live streaming, and now I'm going to start the webinar. Start. All right. Oof, that was loud. All right, guys. All right, so Cloud CMA. So Cloud CMA is a really cool program. It's an easy way of doing a CMA, and the product is beautiful. The sheets that come out are beautiful. So so to start with, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to start right here. And actually, I'm going to close my office door 1 second. I don't know if anybody else could hear that, but that was really, really loud. So anyways, two ways to get into Cloud CMA. If you are in Beaches MLS, Cape and Islands MLS, or MLS PIN, you can actually go to your MLS, and there will be links to take you to Cloud CMA. With MLS PIN and the other MLSs, you can download the MLS IDs and input them as the properties that you're going to use for your comps. With MLS PIN, you can actually search for sold properties, and once you've picked them out, you can click on Cloud CMA and it'll take you in there. So the other way of doing it is to go to the Lair website or your website, if you have a Lair website, and click on log in here. Now, if you do not have a Lair website, you can still do this. You can go to lairrealty.com. You will put in your email, most likely your Lair email, and then a password. We would have set up a password when you first joined. If you do not remember your password, you can always put in your email and say, forgot your password, or email Happy Agent and we'll send you a password. So when you log in, it's going to take you to this dashboard. And let's see here. I just signed in as the admin, but that's okay. You go up to these 4 squares here, and it's going to have different actions you can take. Down here, this middle one, you'll see it says Cloud CMA, and you click here, and it's going to open up Cloud CMA. So let me just wait for it to happen here. There it is. Now, if this is the first time with Cloud CMA, you may have a place where it'll say sign up. But I think with the Lair website going in that way, it'll take you directly here. Now, one of the other things is whenever you first come here, you do need to make some changes, some updates. Over here on the upper right-hand corner, usually you would see a green circle with your initials inside. I've already gone through and uploaded my photos, so my photo's there, but otherwise it would be your initials inside. You click here and you go to account settings, and it takes you to this page. And here is where you need to do some quick setups, right? Unfortunately, I am licensed in 2 states, and I'm in 2 different MLSs. So this program will always default to one of them. So if I want to use the other one, I always have to make that change. So I'm going to go here to MLS credentials. And right now it's showing me that I'm going to be in the New Hampshire MLS. There we go. And so what I want to do is I want to change to the Massachusetts MLS. I will choose MLS PIN. If you are in Cape and Islands, you would click Cape and Islands. And then here you would do your normal MLS login, right? Not a login for this program, but for your MLS, which this is what that is for me. And then I would say update MLS credentials. And that part is taken care of. The next thing is over here on your profile. You'll want to come in here under the company name. You'll always want to put in Lair Realty Partners. And I always capitalize Lair. And then you want to come down here and you would want to save settings. So the important thing is, in order to see the Lair branding, you need to make sure that this says Lair Realty Partners. If you, I know we always abbreviate it and say Lair Realty, but for this program, it needs to say Lair Realty Partners or Lair Realty. If you're in Florida, then you can put in Lair Bowen, and that will work. And that will take you to the Lair branding, and the pages will be included in your CMA. So this is how to access Cloud CMA to make sure that you have everything here updated and everything. And let me see here. Do we have any questions? No, no questions yet. And let me just go over here and double check. Oh, and that was Sergio just saying, yes, we're good. All right, good. I don't see myself on Roar either, but it looks like everything is there, so who knows? Anyways. We'll keep going. All right, so now that we're in Toolkit CMA, I'm sorry, now that we are in Cloud CMA is so much better than Toolkit. It's so much easier to use. What we're going to do is we're going to create a CMA. Different ways. Once you're signed in here, you want to click here where it says CMA, and you want to go back to your CMA page, right? And it'll load here in just a second. And so here are some of my CMAs that I have done. Some of them are real, some of them are not. Oop, hang on, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. But anyway, so to start a CMA, you do have choices. What to do with CMA, though, by the way, is you need to decide what properties you're going to use first. And I always think that you should use 3 actives, if there are 3 actives in that area, 3 pendings if there are, and then 4 or 5 solds. But only go back about 6 months if there's enough. The other thing too is it's important to stay in the same town. And in Florida, it's important to try and stay in the same neighborhood or complex if possible. So today what we'll do is we'll do a quick CMA. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose single family, anything that's active, under agreement, sold, or even contingent. And I'm going to choose Westford as my town. And we'll go here. And let's see, we're going to do a price range. And I think I'm going to do 700 to 900. And that's going to give me 32 choices. So I think that's a good wide range of choices to choose from. So we're going to click here and we're going to take a look at them. And right now I have it sorted by status and then sale price, then list price. So these are all active. So the first section is all active. I think the next section is going to be under agreement. All of these are currently under agreement. And then after that will be the solds. So there's a good variety of choices. So if there are 3 actives in that price range, you should choose them, and there are. So I'm going to choose these 3, even though they're not similar to the house, but these are the ones that I want to use for this CMA. Next, we're going to look at the under agreement ones. So basically we're going to do this CMA on a small colonial to start out as a ranch and have a pool. So we'll see how that goes. So let's take a look at what's under agreement, what is sort of kind of similar. This is definitely an older home. We're talking about a 1960s ranch that had a new floor put on in, say, 2004. So 45 Tadmuck, that might be a possibility. Some of these are looking, see, that's pretty old. Forest Street. Forest Street might be an option. That's a colonial with a garage. So that's going to be a lot bigger. Let's see here. So truth is, there's not much for under agreement that's really similar to this house, but you still want to be able to put a few of them in, you know? Well, this one, it's on a busy road, but sort of in Nabnasset, so we're going to throw it in here anyways. And it's under agreement anyway, so. All right, so we have 3 active and 3 under agreement. So in a CMA, it's important to have these 3 sections, if it's possible, depends on your market. But you want to have solds so the seller can compare their house to other homes that have sold, and so that you can show them the differences and what the marketing range means. Next is you want to have under agreements, because you want to show the seller, here's what the buyers are seeing the value in. They're putting offers in on these properties. And then you want to show actives because you want to show them who the competition is. So we're going to scroll down here and take a look at some of the solds. And so for solds here in that general price range, we have a couple of ranches here, right? This is kind of an older colonial with a 2-car garage. This one has got a 2-car garage. Boom. As we scroll down here, we're just going to kind of take a look and see if there is something that's going to be kind of sort of close. 22 Lakeshore Drive north. That's going to be right next to the lake. It looks like there could be water behind it. Let's go ahead and use that one. And that sold for $750, even though it's 5 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. So Pine Road, Providence Road, Sassafras. So there's quite a few choices here. So we don't have to choose them all, but we just want to be able to choose some that sort of kind of reflect. I mean, look at this, a ranch, Pierce, but I think this one's got a pool, if I remember right. And Meadow Lane, that one has a pool. And then let's see what else we have. We don't want to just pick the high price ones, even though it's sold for $837, $835. In this area, every market is different, but in this area, a pool does add money, add value. So, let's see, granite countertops, 2-car garage, and let's see here. Let's pull some of the older ones, maybe. Let's pull one of the ranches here, and let's see here. How many do we have so far for solds? I think we have like 4. Let's see here. So when you're doing a CMA, you're going to go into detail. When you really are doing a CMA, you're going to go into detail. You're going to read about these. Hopefully you have seen most of these homes, but you're also going to read through them. You're going to weigh it out, and say, well, mine's a 3-bedroom. This one's a 4. How much, how similar is it? Does it add a difference? like Sassafras here has got a 4-bedroom and a 2-car garage, right? And so maybe the one I'm looking at has 3 bedrooms and no garage. So we'll throw the ranches in because it used to be a ranch. And then maybe we'll throw Providence Road in because that's sort of kind of similar area and neighborhood, and it's a split. So it's a wide variety. So it doesn't really mean, that this CMA is going to be absolutely accurate, but it's just kind of a general thing and show you how to do these. So you have two different ways. Your MLS, whatever MLS you're using, you are actually able to download um, uh, into a spreadsheet just specific information. You're able to download the MLS ID numbers and paste them into Cloud CMA, and it'll populate with the properties. And then with some CMAs, some MLSs, you can pick and choose your properties like I did here, right? And I can click on CMA, and it's going to take me over to the CMA, and it's going to populate those properties automatically in. If you look down here, here are all the MLS ID numbers. So now the most important thing is, now we're going to do is fill out the rest of this information here. And so what we'll do is we're going to say, we're going to use the name Tom Sellerman, probably for the 20th time. And then you can always put private notes here. And then now we're going to put in the property address. And so the property address we're use is, let's use 14 Newport. And it's going to pop up a whole bunch of different choices. And I'm going to choose Westford. It's going to auto-populate. It says it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,100 square feet. Well, I know that's wrong because I know they actually have 3 bedrooms. And so let's take a look at the advanced info. It is a half an acre, built 1963, taxes about $9,500 a year. So here's everything here. If you already have a photo of the property, you can click here and add a photo in. If you don't add a photo, then you'll have choices for your cover page, which could be Google Map photo. So what we can do here real quick is just go here, and I know I have some photos here, and let's see here. Let's do Chelmsford office, and let's just do this real quick, and we'll pull a photo just for this, and you'll see what it's like. Here we go. Let's use this one. There we go. That looks good. Any photo you put in here, you can crop if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. There it is. We're not going to crop it. We're just going to use it. Boom. And so it's in there. So now this is setting up the cover page, setting up this information here. This is the MLS IDs that we just imported. If you did not import any MLS IDs, you can actually have Cloud CMA pull the comps for you. And you can say, if you do this, right, and you do it, it'll pull in general in the town that you're looking at, and it'll kind of try and narrow it down. But you can override it to just automatically find listings near the subject property and get at least 10 listings, right? And so what it'll do is it'll do a radius search. Now, the only problem with that is if you are near a town line, it will pull listings from another town if you're too close to a town line. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to use these ones that were put in here, and we're going to click on Fetch Listings. And it's going to think a bit, and then it's going to switch over. Well, just checking to see if we had any questions. All right, so here we are. So this next page is going to be organizing your listings. And what you can do is, what it'll do is show you a map, show you where your main property is. Then it's going to show you what's green is active, red is sold, orange is under agreement. And it's going to show you the other comps that you have decided to choose. So in today's CMA, we've chosen 3 active, 3 pending, 5 sold. So what this also has done is over here, the lowest price is $715, the highest is $899.99. And so it's going to say the average is 790, the median is 756. So this is all good information to use. And then over here is all the properties that you decided to choose. You have your 3 actives, you have your 3 pendings, and then you have your 5 closed properties. So now as you're looking at this, you may be going like, okay, 16 Pierce Ave, you can click on notes and adjustments, and you can see a little bit more information about the property, right? And scroll through a few photos. Nice patio, nice deck, right? And this one sold in September, and you might think, yep, that's a pretty good one. I'm going to keep it, right? And then you would, let's see, click here. It shrinks it back down. Here's Providence Road, Pine Road, Lakeshore Drive, Meadow Lane. And you may say, Meadow Lane closed at 8:37. And let's click here. And yes, it's great that it had a pool. But it's not exactly alike because it has that garage and it has 4 bedrooms instead of 3, right? And as you read through all this, you can actually put additional notes in here. And then you can also make adjustments to the value. Now, you're not making adjustments like an appraiser. What you're doing is you are making adjustments to what you think the market value is. And what you're trying to do is even the field. So if one of your comps has 4 bedrooms, but yours has 3 bedrooms, what you want to do is you want to bring your comp down so that it equals your 3 bedroom. And so one way to do that would be to make an adjustment. So this has an extra bedroom. So we're going to put bedroom here. And now we're going to figure out, well, what value, how much more do you think Meadow sold for because it had a 4th bedroom? If it had only 3 bedrooms, how much less would have it sold, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to make a negative adjustment so that you're going to bring down the value to, and we're only talking about market values, not assess, not um, um, uh, just market value. That's all we're talking about, right? So let's say, you know what, another bedroom probably worth what, 30,000 maybe in that market. That's a guess, but we're going to save, right? And it's going to make an adjustment to the sale price. And so that when we are comparing, instead of uh, um, um, uh, comparing a 4-bedroom with a 3-bedroom, we're going to try and even the field out. And you can do the same with bathrooms too. So like, if you wanted to really get into the weeds and everything, this one only has a bath and a half instead of 2. And it's like, what would a half bath be worth? Would that be like a $5,000 adjustment or maybe a $4,000 adjustment, right? So we'll do it that way. Oops. But we also want to make it a negative. So boom. So now we subtracted 34,000 from the market value, not the assessed value, and not what the bank's going to think it's worth, and not what the town's going to think it's worth, but what you think the marketing value is, and that's what you're going to make the adjustments to. So once we've done that, we're going to come up here, and we're going to go and we'll shrink that field up again. And so now what you're going to see though is that yes, close price, yep, close at 837, but the adjusted close price is 803, and that will make a difference over here. So, but it's also going to be marked that it's always been adjusted, so there'll be no, other so there'll never be any confusion about what the number is. So. But anyway, so once you have chosen the properties you're going to use, you want to decide, are you going to be using a net sheet? And so um, uh, if you've put a number in the space right here, then it will create a net sheet. If you don't use net sheets, then don't worry about it. But here, I'm going to put a price in, and I'm going to say um, 7.99, 1, 2, 3, boom. And it'll use, actually, hang on, boom. And now I can also make additional adjustments here. So what it's going to say is, you know what, it's going to give you ideas here that what the range is for each section and everything, right? And for the solds, it's between 780, 828. So that's a suggested range. And you can use that, right? And I just clicked on it and it filled it in, right? So that's not a bad thing to do. But then you can say, okay, let's add in some seller expenses just to make sure the seller knows what it is they're going to have to come up with, you know. So in Massachusetts, the seller pays a tax stamp of $4.56 per thousand. New Hampshire, the seller pays a tax stamp of $7.50 per thousand. In Florida or Connecticut or Rhode Island, I don't know what other things there are, but if there are additional expenses that you want the seller to be aware of, you do want to put this in. That is if you are the type who always uses a net sheet. And basically the net sheet is going to show what the net is going to be to the seller. So just for examples, then I'm going to put in tax stamp, right? And it's about 456 per thousand. And if it's 800, 8 times 4 is 32. Say it's probably $3,600 is my guess, right? So we'll put that in and we're going to save it. And now it's going to start a sheet to show what the expenses are. And so let's say if you say you're going to charge them 5%, right? And 5% of let's see, 5% of 800 would be, if I could only do math, is that really 40,000? Probably, boom. And so that might be the marketing fee. And now, you know, what you're doing is you're letting the seller know, you know, his take home is going to be about maybe 736,000 from that range. So this is where you would do it. And so now you can also add a note in here if you wanted to. But once you're done, and once you have decided which properties you're going to keep, and really, if you say, you know what, this has nothing to do with anything, I'm not going to use that, you can unclick it and not use it. So if you had let Cloud CMA choose your properties, it probably will have come up with about maybe 15 or 16 different properties, but you wouldn't have wanted to use them all, right? So you might have unchecked a few. But once you're done, now we're going to customize the report. And we're going to click here so where it says Customize Report. All right, so when you open up this page, there's going to be a couple of sections here. One of them is going to be, these are the pages that are going to be in your CMA. Now, the output for Cloud CMA, there are two different outputs. One is going to be your traditional way, which is going to download everything into a PDF, and then you'll be able to print out a PDF. The other way is a live version. And with the live version, there's a different way of doing it to put the pages in order and everything else. So when you open this up, one of the things you want to make sure you see is you want to make sure you see this right here that says Lair Realty Partners. And over here on the left is going to be your different categories. Like here's the introduction, listings, closing. Here's a bunch of different things that you can actually add in, like this one, staging your home. Any of these pages, if you click the eyeball, you'll be able to take a look and see what the page is going to look like. So this was staging your home. And here's just an extra blurb that you may want to put in. And it just says, how important it is to make sure your home is staged and everything else. Now, one of the cool things about Cloud CMA is down here at the bottom of every page is going to be your information. And then down here is going to be the layer logo. And everything is going to be in the layer colors. So basically, as you can look at anything you want right here, right? And so like features that sell, right? And you can go here and you take a look, and it's going to be a couple of nice paragraphs about what really, what's going to sell and everything. Looks great. If it's over here, it means it's not in your CMA yet, right? So you can hit this plus sign, and it's going to add it in, and it's actually going to add it into a section, predetermined section down here, right? Let's see here. What are the features that sell? There it is. Now, if you don't want it right there, what you can do is you could move things around to different and move it in different order. And in fact, up here, when you look in here, you're going to see the title page is way down here, right? So I'm going to move the title page up here, like that, right? And then here's the cover letter. Oh, and here's the agent resume. So anything that says edit here, you can actually go in and you can edit yourself and do it yourself, right? And of course, as you see, I have done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing for that. And so it's like, you know what? I don't want to use that page. So there's a red circle here. If I click this, boom, it's gone. And it's back up here under introduction. Now, if you have this set properly, you're going to see that there's all these layer pages right here, right? And so you don't have to do anything to add them in. They're automatically going to be added in. So, oh, hang on. Yep, we're good. All right, so one thing though, say you weren't going to use all the layer pages, you can remove them just like this, right? And they're going to come back up here. Now, previously you didn't see a layer partners folder because all the pages have been used, right? So I'm going to click here, I'm going to add it back in, and there it went, right? If I click here, it's going to add it back in, and then that section disappears. I'm going to add agent resume and CMA back in, and they come in and they're back down here. Let's get rid of CMA. Our company, this one is a generic one created by Cloud CMA. I'm going to put this back here because we have all this great stuff here. By the way, we're always updating the pages. Here is everything about Boost. Our marketing department put this together. It looks beautiful, right? Boom. And then here's the 20-point marketing plan. You can actually create your own marketing plan in here too, if you ever wanted to too. So you have the ability of adding custom pages, right? So I have added a couple of custom pages occasionally. I've also played around with it. So, whatever. Anyway, so once you've decided all the pages you want, and this is going to be in the PDF version. So once you've decided everything, you would click on Publish Report. Now, before we do that, I want to go back here to where it says Theme. I want to make sure that you always have where it says here, Layer Realty Partners. And if you click on it, you're going to see that you have different choices. Now, if you have the Layer Realty Partners in here correctly, that will be the only choice you have for branded. If you've never been in here before, you may have something that would be like modern red and black or blue and gold or something like that. If you choose that theme, and if you have it set with that theme, you won't see any of the layer pages. So now it's going to reapply this theme, and I'll show you what it's going to look like if it ever loads. So There we go. And so here is something that's interesting is if you don't have the layer theme, it'll say something else here. But the other thing is you won't see any of the layer pages over here. There won't be any layer pages here. And actually down here, they're going to try and sell you some premium power packs and some Tom Ferry pages, right? So if you wanted to buy these Tom Ferry pages, you could always do that, but I don't think you need to. So let's go back to here. So to find branding, you go all the way up to the top, and your only choice should be layer right here. And we're going to go ahead and choose that theme. And here we are, back with all the layer pages and everything. So now we're going to go ahead and publish the report. And what this is going to do is going to put together the PDF, right? And you can always come back here and add or subtract pages doing it this way. So this is going to be your traditional way of doing a CMA. The output is it's going to be a PDF, and you can scroll through, take a look at it and everything. You can go to any of our offices and print it. If the admin's there, she'll be glad to bind it for you, no problem. But we do have binding machines in every office too. So there we go. Now we're going to take a look at the PDF. If I click here, it's going to open this up. And oh, you know what? Because we switched themes and switched back again, some of my changes were not saved. But so instead of a cover page up here, it's going to have the layer pages first. So I usually go in and I take the title page and I drag it up to the top, and that makes it first. But here are the layer pages. These are all awesome. This shows you 42 offices, over 750 agents. We actually have 43 offices now, but that's close enough. 1.5 billion in business last year. The layer mission. This is real trends. This is really good. This is for numbers for 2023. So this is up to date. So we were number 245 and we are 245 and 231 in the US. And then here's all about layer cares and some of the donations and projects we support. Best place to work. Here's that boost page that the marketing department did. I love it. I think they did an awesome job. Here's a 20-point marketing plan. You can actually make changes to this if you want and upload your own. And then here is built on technology. And then here is the title page I wanted to have up front, right? And the title page will be like, the picture of the house, or it would be a picture of a Google sky view, right? Satellite view of the property. The seller's name, the date, and then here's an introductory cover letter. And then so this resume got pushed back in because we went out, came back in. But every page it's going to have your information down here, and then with the layer logo. And if you can see, everything is in the layer colors. So we'll come down here, and then here are the properties. So here's that map again, showing you the properties that were chosen, right? Which is good. It's like 1, 2, 3, 5 of these are all around Nabnasset Lake, which is close to the primary property. And so it's going to have here, the first page is going to have what the properties are, number of bedrooms, the bathrooms, square footage, the price, adjusted price, because we made one adjustment to one of the properties. It's going to pop up there. And then it's going to separate them out. And this is why I like to choose something from both active, pending, and sold, is because then comes up with these spreadsheets, and it lets you know, it's like, average size that has, sold listings, right? The listings, those that are sold, right? And then Right, so 12 Meadows, we made an adjustment on that one, so that's why it's showing an adjusted price and adjusted square footage there, right? Um, so here are the pending listings, here are the active listings. So it's important to have as much information for sellers as possible. You don't know, how much they really want, but you want to make sure they have enough to be happy. So the layouts for the properties, you have a couple of different choices. I choose to choose two photos at the top and then the information, right? And then followed by the next 12 photos that are in MLS. And so here is Pierce with the swimming pool, right? This one's probably a very close comp. Sold for $835. On the market only 13 days. And let me see here. Where does it say? 3 bedrooms and bath and a half. So very close. Beautiful backyard, beautiful pool, nice house. Next one in line is, the two photos, right? Here's all the information about that property, and here are all the remarks, right? And you come down and you can see the next 12 photos that are with that MLS. And so each property that you've chosen is going to be in that format. And even though that adds pages, right, it's going to be something that uh, um, uh, sellers are going to want to see. So, oh, here's this one on Lakeshore Drive. It is right on the lake itself, so it's not a pool, but it's the actual lake, which is probably more valuable than a pool. And anyway, here's all the photos. Yep, 12 Meadow did have a pool. I was right about that one. There we go. And as we scroll down, here's some more photos. And then at the end, this is so the price adjustments. 12 Meadow is where we made some adjustments, right? And this explains what those adjustments were. It's like, yeah, 12 Meadows has got 4 bedrooms and only a bath and a half. Yeah, actually, guys, I did this backward. That should have been adding, not subtracting, because I think Meadow only has a bath and a half compared to 2 baths. So instead of subtracting, that should have been adding. So it would have brought it down to only $26,000 off instead. But anyways, this is just an example. But that's the adjustment sheet. And then now we're on to the next properties and everything else. We'll keep scrolling down here. Keep going. And I think there we go. This will be the last active one. Here we are. Boom, boom. All right, and now this is the analysis pages. And this is always very important too. And you never know. Some sellers may or may not look at this, but the sellers who want to look at this, it's important to have it for them. So basically the 5 sold listings we chose, here's, the lowest, the highest, the average, right? And the average price per square foot, the average days on the market. And if we made, with that adjustment we made, we actually brought the average down some and brought this average square footage down some. And then it's also going to show the pending, the actives. And again, every page is going to have your information down here with the Lair logo. All right, so now this next page is interesting. It's one that you can or cannot use. You can use if you want. It actually, what you want to do is, the purpose of having this page in is to show how far off Zillow can be. So many people rely on Zillow, and Zillow is not accurate. So with this page, you can sit there and say, look, it's like, I know you thought Zillow said your house was worth so much more, but look at this. Zillow can be $40,000 off on a price, and that's huge. So you don't want to rely on Zillow. So if this is a number that's going to help you, use it. If not, don't use it. It's up to you. So, and let's see here. And Zillow didn't even know 22 Lakeshore Drive North existed. So what does that tell you? Anyways, now this is going to show you those that have sold. Average days on the market was 33, and on average they sold for just a little bit above 100%. And then here is where you had put in, or we had put in, a suggested list price. So you could put in, say, if you knew you really wanted it priced at $7.99, you could put that in. Or if you're not really sure, you can put it in a range. Yeah, it really depends. And you know what happens so often too is like, you're concentrating on where you think that range should be, and the sellers are always going to be up here. So it's always going to be something to work on. But this can help and help them decide, the whole purpose is to get the sellers into the right price range where their home will sell. And so this is just letting them know it's like I'm suggesting 780 to 828. Solds are 786, pending 783, actives 804. So, and then we're going to see here is the net sheet that we prepared. It's always, if you use a net sheet, it's there. You can use it all the time. And this one is going to tell you a little bit about the market. It's going to show you the let's see here. Most recent price was here. Beginning price was here. Look at this one. Which one is this one? This is I think that says number 8. And number 8 would be 42 Patton Road. No. I can't read that number. Hang on. Who knows what that number is? There we go. That certainly looks like number 8. And property number 8 is Patton Road. Oh, Groton Road. Groton Road. There we go. Yep. So Groton Road started up here, now it's here, and now it's under agreement. So this graph can also help you guide the sellers into the right price range. So that's why you should use it, definitely. And here's the average price per square foot is $375. And you can see there's quite a bit here that's right in that range. So that's pretty good. Down here, testimonials. If you have testimonials, and working with a testimonial system, you can connect it so that your, say, Zillow testimonials will automatically pop up there. Or you can do what I do is I have a separate sheet, and I just upload that separate sheet with, and I have it formatted the way I think it looks best. So this is the traditional way of doing the CMA, doing it as a PDF and everything. So now let's go back here. And now we're back on this page, and this is the front page this is the page where it's been published and everything, right? And we took a look at the view PDF. Now let's take a look at the live version. So the live version is good. If you're going to meet with the seller, and you have a tablet and you want to load this up onto the tablet, right? And you can meet with the seller directly and you can just kind of scroll through and show them the information. So now all the layer pages and everything are all, here's the cover letter as a PDF, right? And then here would be layer cares. Oops, sorry, no. Here's about layer and the numbers and everything. I'll click here. Here's layer cares. So when you get to this page, this is the navigation. This takes you to the next page. This takes you to the previous page. If you want to get back to the home page, you click on the layer logo and it takes you right there, right? And so this page is in here, which was another one the marketing department did. And I love it. I think it's an awesome job. If it ever loads, come on. Huh. I guess that page is not going to load for me. All right. Let's see if this one loads. No file is specified. Huh. Layer numbers. That's going to, all right, there we go. Anyway, so this is all the live view that you would want to load on your tablet so that you can scroll through. And then also while you're on your tablet, if there was something you wanted to emphasize, you can click on the marker here and you can circle stuff, right? And then when you leave that page and you come back, your marks are gone. And this is loading very slow. So let's go back here. Now let's go down here. We're going to take a look at the comps. So we have chosen 11 comps. And this is a great page It's very easy to navigate, and it's great if you are in front of the seller and you're going to say, look, here's your house and here's the information, and we can compare it to the others, right? Here are the photos, here's that information. We click here and we can scroll through the different houses to see what they look like and everything, and scroll down a little bit more, and there's a little bit more information right here, right? It looks great. And then you can say, hey, by the way, so let's take a look at this one that's pending here. And you can click there, and it's actually going to open up the listing. So this is the great thing about a live view, is you can open up the listing and you can scroll through. You don't have to rely on whether or not you printed enough photos or anything, right? And then it tells you everything here is built in 1905, garage, whatever else. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,600 square feet. Here's all the information. If you wanted to make live adjustments and say, yeah, it's a 4-bedroom, so you know what, we're going to make a quick adjustment on this, right? So bedroom, and what did we say the last bedroom was 30,000, right? So we're going to subtract. So we're going to say is like, you know what, if it only had 3 bedrooms instead, we think it would be priced this way instead. So. And let's see, how is that? There we go. It's entered, boom. And so we made a price adjustment, a marketing value adjustment. So you can do it on the fly like that. And then here, once you're inside one of these listings, right? So we're inside 576 Groton Road. This goes back to all the properties, right? This one goes to the next one in line. And you just keep scrolling that way. And then you're going to go back up here, and here's everything else again. And then let's go to the average price per square foot. Here's that graph again, right? And this time it's cool. Instead of trying to figure out which property this was and everything, I can click here and it's going to click and open up the listing here, or I click here and it'll switch to that listing right there. And then I can just exit back, and here's the list of all the properties. So that's pretty cool. And there's a marker on every page, so I can always scribble, do whatever. So let's go to average pricing, and here it's divided by closed, pending. All these are great. So I click here, and it's actually going to take me to the property itself. So that's the great thing about being on the live version. So let's see, here is the Z estimate, again, off by $40,000. And then here's this one here. Right, earlier we were trying to figure out which one this was. Well, you can click here, and now we know that was 476 Groton Road. So this one had a big price drop here too. Boom. And that was 22 Lakeshore Drive. And this one was priced lower and sold for more. So that's what that means. All right, so market action plan. So all these pages, you can decide, oh, let's go back here. This one's a good one. It's got this part on the top, and it's got this part on the bottom, so that's always good. So just at list price, which includes the net sheet and everything else. And then this is kind of cool. You can sit here and make adjustments this way. You say, all right, so if you did, list it at, say, 828, 829, here's what your list, and you can even make adjustments here too. So pretty awesome. It really is. All right, so that is the live version. Now, you made all these changes. We made all these changes to the PDF version, right? And now you're saying like, well, how do I change this around? Easy enough. Go up here to the top. You click on the 3 lines or the hamburger. Click here, and it shows you all the different pages. Click here where it says customize. Now you can decide what pages are going to show and which are not. And see, you can see I already have agent resume is blacked out. AdWorks, we're not doing that anymore, so that one's blacked out. Our company, we have a better one, so that's blacked out. And then you can say, it's like, well, I didn't really want to use this page, or yes, I do want to use that page. You can make that change, and then you can click done, and you can make the changes. Oh, the other thing is, let's go back here to customization. You can click on these and move things around. So you can say, yeah, I'm going to move that one up there, and I'm going to move this one down here, and you can make all those changes. So that is how to do a live version too. So let's go back here. All right, so here is your page for this one, this CMA that we just created, right? But let's go back to our main page here, or click there. And it's going to show all of our past CMAs. So, and you can see I've done quite a few for this Tom Sillerman. He owns a lot of different houses, but he hasn't listed yet. Dang it. But anyway, so anytime you can go back to any of these CMAs and click on edit, and you can go through and make edits to the transaction. So, and here we are. We're right back here. And as you can see, this one had all these imported, right? You could actually say, you know what, these are no longer relevant. I'm going to back them out, and I want to update the listings and make them do a search, right? You can do that, or you can just leave it alone and not do anything. It's always up to you. So that is Toolkit CMA. I hope everything made sense. And let's see, do we have any questions? I don't see any questions. I think everybody is happy. Yay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. Hope this was helpful. If you have questions about Cloud CMA, email happyagent@lairrealty.com. If you have trouble and you don't see the branding, email us at happyagent. We'll walk you through it, no problem. But I think we did everything here, so that's great. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a good